Test, test. Can y'all hear me and see me okay? Not see me, see my chart. Having a little rough YouTube morning. Everything looks okay. Let me change the chart. Audio visual check, please. Done a couple blonde things this morning, so I have to check. Good morning, perfect. All right, hey Ken. Hey Night Truck, Robbie, Maria, Lisa, Lori, Bobby, Scoops, Mal, Judd, Luciana, Rob, Luciano, Hofer, Greg, Amira, Asia. How are y'all doing? I look great in the robe. Hey Roger, hey Gerbil. Good morning. You're at the pregame show. What I do here every morning, or attempt to do, is to break down all the indices, commodities, movers and shakers of the day. I rip through about 25 charts in 25 minutes, and I do my best to give you a roadmap for the day. I always say I wake up in the morning, I see all the puzzle pieces that have been dumped out on the floor overnight, and I try to put together the puzzle pieces for all of us. So I jump on a little early to greet my friends, do a little housekeeping, especially this morning when I'm a blonde with technology. Had a few issues. Judd's already had to help me post a link, so had a couple problems. If you're tuning in later in the day, you can fast forward till this says 6:30 right here, and that's where I'll get in the meat potatoes of indices. Between now and then, I'll go over a few chart requests. Good morning, Mustang. Hey, Bobby. Okay, BG. I'm going from bottom because I kind of lost track of the chat room. Okay, potential daily bear flag. What I want. Here and here. Potential daily bear flag. So we do have a gap overhead. The gap is at 106.91. What is this? Agriculture. Volume. We just got a weekly lower low. So agriculture stocks have been in vogue because of the Ukraine fertilizer situation. So we've had this run up into it. But however, right now we do have a weekly lower low. So we're in a downtrend. Daily potential bear flag. 4 hour. 102.23 becomes our key level to hold during regular trading hours. Okay, Mark. I'll try not to cough. Good morning, Jorge and Crypto. Okay, so this is a pretty weak chart. We need to get over yesterday's high as step one, 105.66. We got to make room now. So if bulls want to see any trend change, if you're a conservative bull, you're waiting and you're saying bounce. Get over the daily 8 EMA or 12 EMA, whichever one you use. Make some strides. And then on the pull back, I can look for a higher low. Remember, y'all, there's a difference when we're pulling back like this and we're pulling back here and here. And let's say $106 is the price that you're kind of aiming for. There's a difference, $106 over here, buying at this spot, at this location, versus buying at 106 at this location. Two totally different scenarios, yet the same price. We want this part to happen. We want the low to be put in, and we don't want to be predicting that low. Wait for price action to give you a little bounce so you can buy that higher low. So patience is always, always, always rewarded in this market. Now, sometimes being aggressive can be rewarded, but it seems as though patience is always rewarded. So remember, of the two, being patient is definitely the chosen horse to ride. Good morning. Okay, HILS. I'll get started in 3 minutes. Okay, daily inside bars. So we have, this is kind of a junky ticker. Junky, and it's not a reflection of you. It's just the way it trades, and it's a function of the financials of biopharmas like this. So we have 2 daily inside bars, resistance 145 and 110. And then 145 and 112. So we got to break out of this range. If you have gun to head, Lori, just choose which way it's going to break. With that upper wick of ugliness right there, my guess would be to the downside. And we have a gap below. Nice bull volume. They obviously had some great biotech news, but make sure that you're not caught in the beauty of this move over here, because it's given back 50% of it. $1.10's key support. Hey, Diego, I don't know what you meant on 5 minute. I don't know which chart you're looking at. Hey, Plan, you're dialing in from London. Hello. Okay, EFOI. Okay, another small tech. Huge pullback. Bears are looking to short bounces. Odds favor that we're not going to come out up and take out that 312 high without another news catalyst that obviously happened back here. You want to see something cute on this? Look at this, y'all. Do you see that? The daily head and shoulders on the RSI. Very ominous. Ominous looking chart. Okay, 2 more minutes. What's my take on gold? My take on gold is we have 4 outside weeks, and I will go over gold. So let me just give you a preview of what I'm going to do. Here's the 4 indices. We'll touch on the international markets. We'll look at the VIX, the US 2-year, 10-year, crypto, commodities, gold, oil, nat gas. I'm going to give you my 4 standard names and then a few what I call Queen of the Mountain trades, trades that I like, or setups I like better more than other trades. Area that the low is in. Okay, let's look at ES. So I'm going to try to answer a couple of y'all's questions that are kind of related. Oh, ES is not a good, I don't want to mess up my chart. Let me go to SPX on the 2 minute. So yesterday I was watching where is the June 15th? Over here. The FOMC reaction. And I was looking to top fish 1825. I was seeing, so this is the 2 minute, but I was noticing the 5 minute was approaching overbought. Okay, I want to short that. Potentially. Well, I was looking at the 5 minute, the 2 minute, the 1 minute, and I realized the 2 minute gave me the most clarity. So what I want to see is just a slight uptick in volume, and then I want to see an actual pull down with upper wicks of bears selling into that pop. We're losing the higher lows on the candle. So if you would have entered just straight up 1825 and short it, which I did, you're going to get stopped out. So I messed up on a couple trades yesterday, and then overall I finished my day green because I'm like, okay, you're getting too granular. Zoom out from the 1 minute at least to the 2 minute. I normally don't get stuck on the 1 minute chart, but during an FOMC reaction, the moves are so volatile that I kind of zoom in a little bit more than I should. And I realized the 2 minute chart was telling me everything I needed to know. So you want to look for, I'll get started here in just a second. So when you're looking to top fish, you're looking, so in this particular situation, not every situation, I was looking for a 5 minute overbought and a stair step pattern. My stair step pattern wasn't clear. Let me show you. See that little low wick right there? It broke the low of the prior candle. And that's what faked me out a little bit. So I had to wait and get back in my short. So I was looking for a stair step pattern. I'm watching upper wicks. Are we getting any? Are bears starting to sell into the ask or to the bid? Upper wicks, are we getting any? And then I'm looking for uptick and bear volume. That's what, so we need a pause in price. I don't want to just jump in. Oh, 38254. Oh, okay, that's the level where I'm going to short. I don't want to just jump in to where that level is. I need an actual confirmation of trend change. I want to see the actual bears are stepping in with volume. I like to say I want friends with me on the trade. I'm sorry, I get messages from members and I want to make sure everything's okay while I'm live. Thanks, Mal. All right, y'all ready to get started? I'm running a little late this morning, but that's okay. I'll stay with you as long as I need to stay with you to make sure I cover the topics that I've already committed to covering. So let's look at ES on the 4 hour and let's do a little housekeeping, a little more. This is who I am, Chart Guy Lori. Give me a follow on Twitter. I work with thechartguys.com. And what we do is we teach technical analysis. We teach you not only how to identify phishing holes, but also what system. We give you systems, and then you have to adapt the system that works for you, i.e. the phishing pole that resonates with you, in order for you to say, okay, that's a good phishing hole. Here's my pole: 2-minute stair step, looking for 5-minute overbought conditions, looking for a 4-hour lower high, whatever the system is. So the phishing hole and the phishing pole, you'll hear me reference that a lot. I take notes in the morning. I try to keep myself pretty organized. If you're interested in my chart setup, you can click on the link below in the video description to receive a PDF explanation. When I'm done with the show, I copy and paste these notes over in the TCG chat room so our Chart Guys members can slice and dice them as they see fit. So FOMC is over. We have a little FOMC hangover this morning. Yesterday, we had a lot of volatile action, and I did not plan on showing this, but here I go, getting distracted again. But I wanted to show you, I was looking at SPX earlier. So we're at 3,700. This is our average true range. This red indicator down here at the bottom, I don't keep it on my chart. I just populate it on my chart when I want to get a general idea of volatility. Our current average true range on ES is $110 for one day, and that's averaging the last 14 days of action. Let that sink in, okay? Let that sink in. $110. Are you scalping ES for $1? Okay, well, our average true range is $110. Now, let's go back and look at the last time ES was at these levels, okay? If you want to know what the difference is now between now and February of 2021, in that general area, early 2021, where we were at the same exact ES price, let's look at what the volatility was. We have some days where we have $50, $55, even a super high day here, $67, $51. So our volatility has doubled from this time last year, or a little earlier last year, till now. So newer traders are getting their faces ripped off because volatility has increased. And volatility, of course, is measured in VIX, but within different names, within the name of ES, you have certain volatility metrics. We're moving $110 a day. Look, as last September, we were moving $36 a day, and we were at much higher prices. $36 a day. We were moving. And now we're at 3 times that volatility. If that doesn't scream at you that you need to be using stop losses, because if we are having a $36 move day and you're trading ES and you don't use a stop loss, you may get your face ripped off on average $36 a day. Well, now you're going to get your face ripped off $110 on average per day. So recognize the environment we're in. We're in higher volatility, and ensure that you have a phishing pole system that works for you. Okay, let's get started with our Fab 4 indices. Now, I'm not putting a lot of weight on this broadening formation. I'm making note of it. So I'm just telling myself, look out for this. And what would I do with this information? How would I trade it? Well, I may buy a lower low. If we get a shorter term time frame trend change, I may wait for a lower low to buy. But I'm going to watch price action. I'm going to judge market internals. Are we having a trending down day? Do I want to be conservative? Sorry, Kay. Sorry, Kay. Didn't mean to call you out. And we do have a little bullish divergence here. I do want to point out in the 4-hour on RSI, that's not enough information to trade on its own. So I may play a lower low. We'll have to wait to see the bull volume. Are we getting 5-minute uptrend changes? Trend changes. I think, and I may be wrong, that the Chart Guys, that's what we do best, is pure price action and waiting for trend changes to recognize when local lows are put in or local highs are put in. And I think that we do that better than anyone else, thanks to the leadership of Dan. So we have 4-hour broadening formation on ES and RTY, all right? So we got that difference. Those are the only two that are making higher highs and lower lows without follow through. NASDAQ was our only holdout overnight that didn't break the low of June 14. I feel like I'm screaming this morning. If I am, I'm so sorry. Just turn down the volume and I'll try not to scream. But we were the only, NASDAQ, like I'm part of the NASDAQ team, NASDAQ was the only of our Fab 4 indices that did not put in a lower low overnight. Notable, because NQ is the strongest. So that's one tiny, y'all know I like to call it glimmers of hope. That's one tiny glimmer of hope for a bull. The other tiny glimmer of hope, and I'm going to skip out of the Fab 4 indices real quick and show you, is the VIX. The VIX, we pulled back to the golden pocket. We gave back 65% of the move from June 8th to June 13th. We gave back 65% of that price action. And we hit the golden pocket yesterday and bounced. We're coming into an area of resistance overhead. Gun to head, what is the most likely scenario in this situation is a lower high, the VIX lower high. Now, there could be a lot more fear entering the market, but we've already bounced, 100 points this morning on NQ. So we're bouncing nicely. So this 4-hour lower high may be set. We got a little double top at 32.19, 32.16 here. So those are my two glimmers of hope for the day that I typed up 2 hours ago, and now they're kind of playing out to a degree. NASDAQ held, which is the most important of our Fab 4 indices, and VIX was looking for a 4-hour lower high. Okay, RTY, 4-hour, we have this broadening formation, and we're looking for lower highs on the 4-hour on RTY. YM, we broke the local low, so we're close to breaking the 30,000 psychological level on the 52-week range. We're looking at possibly breaking this 30,000, something to note. 4-hour lower highs most likely. Let me go back to ES and give you key levels. So if you're interested in my key levels, you can screenshot it now. These light gray numbers, these are your next supports below you. And these light gray numbers above are your next resistances ahead of you. You see I gave you more supports than I did resistances. That's always a bias in my thinking, because wherever we're closer to, which right now is to the lows, then I'm going to give you lower levels, so you're at least prepared for it. Okay, NASDAQ, here are your levels. They're in red. My apologies. I didn't change my color from yesterday on NASDAQ. I failed to give you another level here. 10942, it's that same level we've been talking about, 10942.25. Let's just don't forget 11,000 psychological. Okay, that's the wrong level. Come on, magnet. You can do it. Okay, right there, got it. Okay, so those are your levels. They're in red, and you have one down in white. Those are your levels. So these are perfect looking daily bear flags. Perfect looking daily bear flags. One more thing on ES. On the weekly, I'm not going to go through that. I got too many trend lines on the chart already, and it makes me want to have hives with that many trend lines. Okay, RTY, potential hourly bear flag, 2 hour. It's probably better on the 2 hour, huh? No, it looks fine on the hourly. We have that potential 4-hour broadening formation. 8 EMA is in control of price on the hourly. It is until it isn't. And I know that's not a very helpful statement, but it's a fact. Hourly bear flags are on most of our charts. So aggressive bulls are looking to top fish these bounces. Excuse me, aggressive bears. Gosh, why can't we have like a bear and a monkey or something? Why does it have to be two bees? All right, so conservative bulls are waiting for pullbacks. Aggressive bears are looking to top fish these bounces. YM below 30,022. Your next support is 29552 and 29318. We really don't have a lot of resistance in this area, so I'm going to say former support could serve as resistance at 30327 and then 30434. Those are your levels on the Dow. I would say NASDAQ has an edge over the Fab 4 futures. NASDAQ is the only one that has an edge over the other three because it held the June 14th low. What are my VIX levels? Okay, so my VIX levels on the fib pull was 2374, the low from June 8th, to the high of June 13th at 3505. We could be stuck in this range for a while, 2776 to 3277. And I think that'd be welcomed by market bulls if we could get VIX contained. VIX has not been contained. The animal was let out of the cage earlier this year, and it hasn't been contained. And I know that market bulls are waiting for VIX to sit down, and it hasn't had a desire to sit down. Neither has the US 2-year or 10-year. We got inverted a couple times this week where the US 2-year was greater than the US 10-year. And basically, if you can make more money out of the market versus being in the market, most US money will gravitate, for the most part, to safer hedges, safer places. If you can get higher rates like the I bonds, like a lot of us in TCG took advantage of thanks to Red Devil. Treasury direct, those I bonds. If you can get interest rates that are guaranteed outside the market, why deal with this mishigas? Especially if you don't have trading experience, so money leaves the market. So that's why the US 2-year and 10-year are important. Here are your key levels. If you force me, I would draw a diamond pattern on this because we did break that neckline, but it would be ugly. So just act like your eyes didn't see that ugliness. Okay, and this, we have a double top. This US 10-year. Let's call it 350. You got a double top at 350 and a double bottom at 327 area. Bitcoin. Wow, deja vu. Do you remember yesterday morning we were looking at hourly inverse head and shoulders, and this morning the 4 hours giving me 4-hour inverse head and shoulders vibes, but I don't want to give the bulls that much credit. They have a crap ton of work to do. And children, if you're listening, crap is a bad word. Hourly lower high expected compared to 2297410. Too big of a pullback. Too big of a pullback. So is Bitcoin going to signal the next move down and NQ when we possibly bounce and then stop this bounce high, put in our lower high, and then proceed downwards? Your next level on Bitcoin below the low, 19,915. Okay, same thing on ETH. On a bounce, we're looking for hourly lower highs. So conservative bears can just sit in their red velvet, like think of like a king's chair that's like very grandiose and royal and regal. Think of the bears just sitting in the chair saying, "Come to me, bulls, come to me." They're just sitting there waiting. And it's work. They don't even have to work for it. Just come to me and I'm going to short it and then I'll win. And until that trend changes, how I've been beating the table all week long. Reverse back burner is your friend. So bears can say, okay, when we get 5-minute overbought, 15-minute overbought, I will cover my hedges and then I'll wait for it to get 5-minute oversold again. And stair step is your friend. I have to type that. If you've been using just those 2 tips I've been giving you every morning this week, you've had a great week of trading. Okay, so conservative bears waiting in short bounces, aggressive bulls looking for hourly higher late lows on names that, I'm going to put it close to the mic, on names that have held this week's low. If your name has not held this week's low, you are not looking for higher lows. You are looking to short bounces. Separate the two. Now, I'm going to give you 2 names that break those rules, but I have my reasons. It's like the rules don't apply to me, just to you. Sorry. Indices are not oversold on daily. FOMC bounce helped cool everything off. So the indices are not oversold. Let's rip through them real quick because I forgot to say that earlier. 33, daily RSI ES. NASDAQ, 36. RTY, 35. YM, 32. This is great news for the bears. This gives them more meat on the bone. Every time we bounce, it gives them more meat on the bone to take it lower. All right. Make sure I said everything. Said that. It's that. Okay. Talked about the potential daily bear flag on crypto. 4-hour downtrend. Hourly is pulled back too much. Bears are waiting for just a tiny bounce in Bitcoin and Ethereum so they can short it. Gold. The 12-hour broadening formation that I drew 72 hours ago is aging well. We're still holding this line. Hold that line. Now, how are broadening formations created? Outside bars. Look at the weekly chart. So May 23rd, we got a nice tiny little bar. Cutie. Okay, May 31st, we broke the high of the prior candle and the low of the prior week's candle. Following week, June 6th, we broke the high of the prior candle and the low. This week, we've already broke the high and the low of last week. We're getting extreme ranges. And the question is who's going to cry uncle first? Who is going to run out of energy to sustain these large volatile moves? So I would say anything above 1806, I would be conservative bull and wait for those pullbacks to 1806 and just use that as my stop. I think they were closer to support than resistance. Does that make sense? So that makes me more of a bull down here. So you see that? I'm always looking at risk to reward. So I'd rather be a gold bull because I'm down here near support versus a gold bear. Look at my stop loss will be way up here. So I'm more comfortable being a bull down here. As long as we're holding this 1806, 1805, and 1785 is the line in the sand. I'm sorry, was that a little too much? Chris, I did not say I see a rotation. I said I would like to see a rotation into semis and XLF, and it was absolutely needed in order to make the market bounce, because SMH is the fuel, the engine behind the market, and I was waiting for a rotation into those two because XLF benefits from higher interest rates, but it wasn't a guaranteed. And anything I say is, unless I'm talking about the past, then I can promise you these supports and resistances, unless I get tongue-tied, those are the levels. It's not like I'm guessing, but when I'm attempting to lay out the higher probability scenarios in the future, that's a different story. Those aren't guaranteed. Okay, oil. A lot of us had a lot of fun playing this short on oil. We were calling out this megaphone yesterday on oil, and then it just broke to the downside. Super weakness. I covered my short this morning. So now I am an oil bear, but I'm not going to short down here in the hole. We got a name. Look at that weekly chart. It's beautiful. Holding the 12 EMA. I'm not going to be a pig. Pigs get fat. Hogs get slaughtered. I want the 4 hour to bounce, and I want to short maybe the one. Actually, let me be specific about it. Let's put some math to it. 117. That's where I was looking. I would love to short in the 117 area. That would keep a bear flag alive for the oil bears on the 4 hour. Nat gas. We have inventory this morning at 10:30. Nat gas is looking for a 12 hour lower high. Odds favor it's not going to come take out this 889. However, bulls have been showing no mercy to us bears overnight. I shorted it. I woke up, stopped out. So on the 4 hour, we're getting higher highs without a lot of follow through. So let's look at it on the daily. That's a daily bear flag potential setup. Trapped underneath the daily 50 MA. I am bearish nat gas. But I can't fight these early morning bulls that have just been pushing up price. Look at this action. Actually, they haven't even been doing it on volume, so I still don't trust them. I'll be looking for another opportunity to short. Support 774, 754. Oh, y'all funny. Okay, Apple. Okay, well, you just messed up my chart, Apple Bull. So that spike, it looked like an hourly bear flag. Make it simple. I'm from Louisiana. I'm a blonde. I dye my hair a lot. We have 5 children. I need to keep my life simple. So I'm going to make my life simple and say as long as Apple's holding 131, bulls have a chance. But bears have control of this chart. So bears are, I'm choosing my words carefully because I know a lot of you take to heart what I say about Apple. So Apple 133.49 could be an area to short and or 134.62. Looking at prior supports or resistances for shorting areas. I would look to short bounces on Apple. Amazon's stronger. Look, Amazon 102.06, 101.43. As long as we're holding this bottom, because we still have this 101.26, 101.26, 101.43. We still have that low. As long as we're above bulls, I mean, are you going to short down here? Or I would rather buy a dip down here and then short a bounce. Short a bounce up into 106? Sure, absolutely. This was our resistance from Tuesday, 106.43. That may be a great area to short, 106.43 on Amazon. If you're interested in my chart setup, you can click on the link below in the video description and get a total explanation as to what I use and why I use it. Down here, this is the TTM Squeeze Pro. NVIDIA had a great move yesterday, and money did rotate. So here, as I'm looking for NVIDIA semi-rotation, money into it, boom, it happened. But they haven't changed trends on larger time frames. That's what I was looking for in the short term, but in the long term, what have bulls done? They've just given bears more meat on the bone. So bounces to short in NVIDIA, in my opinion. Yesterday, we were looking at this. We said hourly EQ. This is what I had drawn out for us yesterday. Hourly EQ, looking for Tesla bull because Tesla had relative strength. We got that move. Now, Tesla announced this morning that they are, what is it? They typed it out. They're raising prices. Tesla is raising prices, holding up better than most. I would say bottom fishing 654.45. We got a little more distance between these lows here than other names. So I think bottom fishing yesterday's low makes sense. Our top fishing near that yesterday's high. Baba. Okay, now this is where I'm saying the rules don't apply to me. So I was telling you, short names that have lost the lows of the week. Baba is a little different. Let's look at this daily head and shoulders and RSI on Baba. That has me short-term bearish Baba. So I like shorting this because odds favor a daily lower high. So if I quit looking at the hourly and I look at the daily, okay, we're looking for a daily lower high. We've got bull volume declining on this push up. We have a daily head and shoulders in RSI. I like the short. I think Baba, I like it short. I'd be looking at the 106.55 area for a potential short. All right, LI. So this is another one that does, I guess, three names that the rules don't apply to me. So look at this LI move. Mr. F has been posting in our room that this name has had relative strength. We have a daily double top right here. 32.78, 32.80. So the risk reward, now odds favor you will get stopped out of a short. Odds favor that because bulls have been in control of this chart. However, this could be a great short because you have meat on the bone on LI. Because of how hard it's been bouncing, you have meat on the bone. So LI could be a short. And what you could do is look at prior support, yesterday's low, 31.56, and look to short that right there. And if not, wait for that daily double top area, 32.78. NEO, I like it for a short, shorting yesterday's high, 20.26. $19.35 is a little level we have here in 19.38, possibly shorting it, but wait till after the first 15 minutes. NEO freezes up the first 15 minutes, and let's see what price action. They were a raging bull yesterday. I'm looking for some bull exhaustion in NEO. RCL. Okay, so RCL, CCL, these charts look terrible. I would look for potential 5 or 15 minute overbought conditions for shorting. Look at this chart, y'all. That is crazy ugly chart. Look at the monthly. Terrible. So discretionary spending is going to be the first thing to go with as inflation increases. So I would assume the cruise lines would be hit. What I would wait for is, I don't want to shorten the whole, wait for 5 minute overbought. And you notice we don't get overbought a lot because nobody wants to buy this sucker. So a 5 minute overbought, I think is a great, you see, I already have my alert set right there. I think is a great short on RCL, CCL, and so Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, and what is CC? Oh, come on. Carnival, Carnival. Okay. PARA. Okay, this is going to be a weird one. This is going to be out of left field weird. Okay, so PARA, right here in May, Buffett announced he established a large position in Paramount Pictures. So, and they had Top Gun success, best movie ever. So they had this big spike on, here's the spike on the Buffett news here. Here's the spike on Top Gun, and they've given it all back. They had a dividend on Tuesday, 24 cents. Dividend can soften price. But look at this strong weekly trend line. We still have time for this to close back over that trend line. I would be looking for a low risk. So I would use yesterday's low, 25.23. And I would say, okay, I think you can look for longs. We're losing that right now. Look for longs over $25. Looking for this potential weekly trend line to possibly hold. But the market's coming back. It'll give up the ghost just like everything else. You're welcome, Jessica. Okay, those are all my Queen of the Mountain. I did not have, no, it's not it. So Brett, I see what you see, but remember, where are we coming from? It's all about context. I'll draw this and then I'm going to hang it up for the day. If y'all could hit that like button, I'd greatly appreciate it. So if you have a chart that's trending up, you extend and you get a little round left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. That's a head and shoulders, where you keep that left neckline, you don't break it. That's a head and shoulders, because a head and shoulders is a reversal pattern. You want to see it reverse to the downside, okay? We're already to the downside. It's not a reversal pattern. I see what you see, the psychology's there, but it doesn't matter. We're coming from above. So that's why an inverse head and shoulders, is also a reversal pattern, where you're coming from a long downtrend and then the bulls start slowly buying, doing these rounded bottoms, then they reverse. So that's why an inverse head and shoulders reversal. Now let me give you an example of a continuation pattern. You extend up, and the bulls take a breather, and then the bulls start steadily buying it again. And they do that little cup and handle, then they go higher. That's a continuation pattern. Another example of continuation pattern. Huge extension up, and you do this little pennant, bull flag. Continuation pattern. So know the difference between continuation and reversal patterns, the context of the location of where that pattern is on the chart, and it'll help you more accurately identify chart patterns. That's it for me. I'm Chart Gal Lori. Thank you for joining me. Give me a follow on Twitter, Chart Gal Lori. Check us out at chartguys.com. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notify button, and hit a button. You can hit exit now too. Use stop losses.